is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio AM. Today is Monday, June 12th. It's a little after 11 o'clock in the morning. Once again, this is C.A. Newry and I shall be your host today as we talk about movie stars, as we talk about big-time movies, as we talk about series, as we talk about Bahamians who are doing big things, and they're doing big things here locally. Few people know that we have a international series that is being filmed right here in the Bahamas. And I said, what you mean international film? You could actually see it on international airwaves. And I said, no, man, in the Bahamas? Who's doing that? And they said, a Kareem boy. And I said, no, I know Kareem. I know Kareem Mortimer, but he's in Los Angeles. What you talking about? And I said, then the people are saying, no, yes, that's Kareem. You know, he's the gentleman who did Cargo. And I said, yes, I remember. So what is Kareem doing? So Kareem is doing big things, and he got a big-time contract. And I said, I got to have Kareem come on the show. And, of course, he's in Los Angeles, which I knew where he was. I said, then I need to connect him via Zoom. So let me make sure that I have him connected so we can explain exactly what is happening, what big things he's doing, and why I have a room full of talented individuals in the Bahamas right now. Kareem, are you connected?
I am connected. Can you hear me okay?
You know when someone is starstruck? You know, to know that I have a big-time producer not technically in studio, but a producer that is here being interviewed. Introduce yourself formally. I know the big show I'm familiar with is Cargo, which give you some acclaim that people know who you are. I want you to give a narrative of that, and then we'll get into your series that you're doing now so the Bahamian people can appreciate who you are and from there. So go ahead, Kareem.
Okay, my name is Kareem Mortimer. I am a Bahamian filmmaker. I've made a couple of feature films and documentaries. I've made Children of God, Windjammers, and Cargo as my feature films, and I've done the documentaries, The Luther Adventure, I'm Not a Dummy, and Vision. And and so my latest project that I was able to collaborate with a really great group of Bahamian creatives is called This Is Paradise. And This Is Paradise is currently streaming on a U.S. streaming service called Crackle that is owned by Chicken Soup for the Soul.
And just for my listening audience who does not understand streaming, whichever try to get our bootleg movies, right? Explain what is Crackle and compare it to something that people would be familiar with so we can understand how big this is, that what you're doing.
Yeah. So Crackle has about 40 million subscribers in the U.S. The audience is about 40 million. So it's on the smaller end of the streamers, but it's still a huge amount of people. It's an AVOD service, so it has advertising in it. So it has commercials, and it's free to watch.
So I can download this app, in quotes, right? The streaming app, and I can watch it and have access to a series of movies and shows and series. And that's what it is, correct?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
So I know about Cargo. Even though I'm familiar with Children in God and a number of things that you said, I know about Cargo. Cargo is a big thing, right? Cargo is so huge that people call you all over from all over the world saying, hey, who is this guy? This guy is Bahamian. How did he do this? And showing the talent you have, right? I want to know the transition from locally producing Cargo to you moving all the way to Los Angeles. Because that's where you
for a couple years. So I'm here with our company. So So I'm here producing a slate of projects within a specific amount of time. And one of the projects that's what I'm doing here in LA. It's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful year here. And it's been wonderful for the projects that we have, because being here enabled me to make the connections to get this project into the hands of a home that will broadcast it.
And so now let's do our transition to your project now. This is Paradise? This is Paradise?
This is Paradise, yes.
I need a narrative of what is it, This is Paradise? Because I know it's a film, a feature. You correct me the right wording, right?
No, it's a TV series.
TV series.
Yeah.
You see, I download things, so I'm not familiar with these terms, right? TV series, right? And you were able to secure a TV series to be filmed in the Bahamas using all Bahamian cast, mostly, right? Bahamian directors and producers, and now have that circulating throughout the United States.
Yes, I like to think that we were able to do it because
but I know you, so I got to say you. But yes, go ahead.
Without the talented directors, other directors and producers, and the talent that is just extraordinary, and the writers. And so we did it. This was born in the pandemic. This was born in like 2021. So we all did the writers' room by Zoom. And then we actually shot in Eleuthera, and everybody came to Eleuthera for like 2.5 weeks. And we shot the entire series in 2.5 weeks, 6 episodes, which was quite a major feat. And we did it because we wanted to make a show that made people forget about the problems for like the 25 minutes each episode is, that they will have a good time, one that they will enjoy. That was an authentically Bahamian show, but with a view that how authentic it is, that everybody would be able to relate to the characters. And so I'll tell you a little bit about what the show is about. The show is about 2 women that discover their half-sisters after the death of their father, are left with this rundown hotel to run, and hijinks ensue over the course of the 6 episodes as they grow closer together and redefine what it is to be a family.
So this is like a typical Bahamian story, because I know some people in my family who found out they related at the funeral. So I can relate to this.
Yeah, it's quite a common story in our shared experience as not only Bahamian but as within the wider region.
Sorry, I'm talking about the Bahamas, but forgive me for that, Kareem. So I want to know the origins now of it. You say it started in the pandemic, right? You were the initial, you are the creator and the initial writer, and now you have an entire team. I want to know, how did you able to bring a team of directors, writers, producers to create this TV series?
Yeah. So it was me and Julia Woolley Chatwin, who works with the company with me, Bassiat Entertainment, and then also our producer, Henrietta Edgecombe, who was there from the beginning. Even when we started this, Alvin as idea and organized it, and Henrietta Edgecombe was one of the directors of 2 of the episode as well. And from there, we reached out to the writers, Karel Pinder, who's from Freeport, Stephen Hanna, and Tim. And we we took like 2.5 to 3 months to develop all the scripts. And then we reached out to the directors, and the directors were Lovato Stubbs, who I think is in studio.
Yep.
And Henrietta and myself. And then also reaching out to the cast, people like Zeneo Newbold, who people know as Sarge, Christine Wilson, who I had worked with numerous times before, and Tamiko Sawyer and Dana Ferguson, and other people came through us through a casting director called Stephanie Nihon, who you may know as the creator of Gombe Kids.
Nice. You in Los Angeles now, right? You have been plugged into a network, a global network, where you could have done your work there in Los Angeles, right? Why you decide to say, come home and employ Bahamians or make available opportunity? It's a great word, I guess. Bahamians.
Well, because I am Bahamian, and Bahamian, like it's who I am, and that's never going to change. And that's my voice and the lens that I see the world through. And and that's my unique take on things is that of a Bahamian citizen, and that's just how I think, and that's just how I can add to the global conversation is through my own perspective and working with the perspective of the creative people that surround me that are so talented in our country, and that's just been a real priority for me throughout my career is to be as authentic as I possibly can.
So while you explain that, let me take the opportunity to at least introduce one of the directors who's here right now, Lovato Stubbs. I'm familiar with Lovato via my wife. My wife get excited, say, "Oh, you know what? He produced this and he produced that." And I said, "Man, that man isn't making any money. That's a part-time gig." And I'm just recently found that Lovato is a full-time director. This is his job. This is how he pays his bills and living well. He's living well, right? I didn't know that people can make money being a director in the Bahamas. So to know by you, who are doing international stuff, right, gives credit to his work here. But I want to know that narrative of him being called to say, "Hey, Lovato, come join us. I have a Bahamian project that is going to go global, that is going to be shown throughout the United States." I want to know how you felt, why you joined the team, and some basically a narrative of you being a director.
Well, I want to
Pull the mic a little closer to you. I'm sorry.
Okay. I want to start off by saying thank you to Kareem for creating such an amazing show. You know, I've known Kareem for years. We're friends, and I always respected what he's done to be a trendsetter in our industry, in this film industry. I always looked up to what he was doing. So I'm very honored for the invite from him to be a part of this. This is historic. You know, I could speak for the rest of the film community to say that, you know, thank you to Kareem for creating this, because this show is picked up by a major streaming company, and that's already something that's very major in terms of creating a whole impact for an industry. And I'm honored for the invite. When he called me, before I even knew what the project was, I said yes, because I knew if it was something that Kareem was doing, it was going to be something impactful for our industry, you know. Also, shout out to Henrietta, who also directed episodes and produced as well. So, being a Bahamian director, I always like to say I'm a Bahamian filmmaker first before being a filmmaker. So anything I've done, if anybody know my work over the years, I try to push the Bahamian narrative. Even if I'm doing a project in the US or Canada, you'll see some aspect of Bahamian in it. Like I have a signature of a conch shell. You know, my company is called Conch Boy Films, and people call me Conch Boy. So you'll see a conch shell even if I'm doing work anywhere. So I am Bahamian, and that's one of the things like I respect about Kareem, and that's what Kareem said, no matter where he is. So he thought to invite a Bahamian director, and it's a Bahamian cast, Bahamian crew, in a Bahamian location. You know, that's historic. That's historic. So I'm so proud to be it. And the lend to the aspect of you saying doing it full time. There's a few of us that do it full time.
There's more than you who
Yeah.
making money as a director and a filmmaker.
Yeah, it's a good group because we stay as a community, and like Kareem says, you know, he thought of me and he thought of making this Bahamian. But one of the main things of doing this full time is, you know, you have to have an aspect of being an entrepreneur. You know, I always tell young creatives when they ask how to do this, you have to be an entrepreneur. So I do a lot of commercials in the Bahamas, a lot. And there's how many companies in the Bahamas, and they all need commercials. So I always try to say to go that route, but you have to have an aspect and elements of being an entrepreneur, because you have to know how to, you know, push yourself, build your brand. So first and foremost, being an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship is one of the main parts of becoming a full-time filmmaker in the Bahamas. It is possible, and I always try to encourage kids and parents to know that this is a career. You know, it may look like a non-traditional career, but look at Kareem. Kareem have done feature films. That's amazing. That's historic.
Yes, it is.
You know,
Yeah.
and like he's made a business out of it. You know, because film is business. You know, and with this TV show, and you've done feature films, so it's possible. You know, and you have the examples right in front of you. Kareem is there, and there's so many others. Henrietta, so many others. Maria Govan, so many other filmmakers that has made this into a business and made this into something full time. So it's possible. It definitely is.
And in the studio, we have some of the actors, right? You know what I read? I'm going to start off with Christine Wilson. I was going to leave her for last, right? But we have history. So I know you as an actor. You're a comedic actor, right? People who follow stage plays know and are familiar with your name. They get excited, saying, okay, I'm going to watch Christine. She can make me laugh. I'm going to fall down, right? I know who you are. Now, to get this phone call from the scouting agency and Kareem in general to say, hey, will you consider being an actress inside this TV series? How did you feel? What did it mean to you? Because, in fact, you had to fly. It was not in Nassau. You were Nassau based. You had to go to Luther and film. That's a different type of work altogether.
Yeah, I've, like Kareem said, I've worked with him on a few of his other works, namely Flow, Children of God. So if Kareem said something, I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and since we gone there, what do you think of Kareem being an actor, right? And Kareem being a writer, right? Being the producer, right? He emigrated time for now to the United States to expand his craft and everything like that. For him to reach out to you back from U.S., from foreign, to say, come, I need you.
I was elated. I was absolutely elated to work on another film project with Kareem. He's a really good producer, director. He's just really good at what he does. He's kind, he's generous, and he listens. So as an actress, I find that very important because we need to be heard and we need things to go a certain way, and Kareem is there for that.
Yeah. I might want to chime in, but was a person who do documentaries.
Right.
Docu-series. And then to hear his name attached to a series where is acting, full-time acting involved, and to be a writer to that and say, we have Bahamian at that level?
Yes.
And not just at that level, and forgive me for this, Kareem, because I know you're listening, right? To have an international acclaim where people say, no, he's no ordinary. He's one of the premier ones in the Caribbean. He could compete and produce work as good as any American. I mean, I get a little teary-eyed knowing that we have Bahamians at that level, right? So I want people to comment on that. What does that mean to a Bahamian actor? What does that mean to a person in the business to see that Kareem is abroad and doing big things?
Well, how I look at it is, like Lovato said, you have to first be an entrepreneur. And if you're not evolving with your craft, then you get left behind. So what he does is evolve, and he evolves tremendously and flawlessly, over the years. I just love the opportunity of working with him and his ideas and how his brain works when he writes these scripts and what he's thinking about. It's just amazing what he does. I am truly proud to be a part of this TV series with Kareem and the other directors, because I worked with all of them.
And before I go to Zaneo, I pronounced her name wrong, eh?
No, you did it right.
Yeah? I was going to just call you New Bolin, or Saj, because I know Saj, right?
Yeah, I know.
But before,
your first name.
I can't call you Saj? You said, but it's my show, I can call you Saj.
All right.
Okay, Saj. But everybody knows Zaneo Newbold. He is an icon in Bahamian comedy. So, especially if you're a social media follower, right? You know who Saj is. Newbold can't go any place without someone shouts out his name. It don't be Newbold though. It's be Saj.
Yeah, I know. It's be Saj.
It's be Saj. And the voices and his intonation changes, right? And I knew you again for doing comedy work, right? And I know you again from commercials.
Yes.
You getting all the gigs now. Everybody calling you now to say, man, I need Saj in this.
God is good.
God has been good to you, right? Unlike Stubbs, who has made this his career full time. This is all he does, right? You do this part time. How do you schedule your time to do this? Because you have a major job, your real job, and still an actor, right? And to be able to be flown to Eleuthera for a period of time, extended period of time, to say, I'm filming. How do you make that possible?
Well, I think when you really want to do something, everybody makes time for what they want. You know what I mean? And I did that. I made time for what I want, and I just worked very, very hard to make sure that it got done.
But I remember when you first started doing comedy, for lack of better words, it was rough in terms of, okay, you starting out. It's a little funny, starting out. To now you produce work with this man, this boy talented, this boy funny. Let me sit down and see his series. I think you even have your own sketch series now that you can follow you and say, this is his work, right? How was that transition to saying, well, I just do this for fun too? People pay me now.
Well, to be honest with you, yeah, you're right. When I first started out, I didn't really take it serious. I just did it for fun, and everybody just laughed and had a good time. So I just did it just to do it. But when I actually found out that, hey, I think this is what I really want to do, then I started to change up some stuff here and there, and because in this game, you know what I mean, you have to accept criticism, whether it's good or bad. You know what I mean? So I applied those in areas where they needed to go, and then now you see where I'm at today. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And explain the narrative of how you were called to be a part of this.
Well, I was called. I'm Stephanie from CMM. I got a call, and she said, "Hey, I have an opportunity for you to be a part of this amazing show, and Kareem is the director." And I'm like, what? Because I know that he did Cargo, and I'm like, you know what? This is an amazing opportunity. Then I said, yes. I didn't give it any thought. You know what I mean? And then I think a week or so later, I think I got the confirmation that I was casted in it, and I was extremely excited about it.
So when they tell you it's going to be in the Eleuthera, what you said then?
What'd I say?
Yeah, what'd you say? It's going to be in the Eleuthera?
Well, I just saw, beyond being with amazing creatives and everything, I just saw that as an amazing opportunity to explore another island, because I've never been to Duluth before, and I would go there again, and more again. You know what I mean? It has so many trees and so many oxygen, just you know.
Trees and oxygen.
You know what I mean? But it was amazing, and I thank Kareem a lot for giving me this opportunity and even opening my acting range more than it was before. So I guess I could definitely say thanks so much, Kareem.
Good. So you're not typecast now. You can say I could do this and I could do that. So that's good.
Yes, hopefully.
But for Kareem and to you, Lovato, right? I have a text which says basically, do you review other writers' scripts, right? And what would known writers do to get more exposure?
Oh, I guess Kareem could
Sure.
answer first.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go answer.
Yeah. I do like read people's scripts. There's like a whole process that you have to do to make sure like, you know, you're protected legally. I'm a notoriously slow reader because I read so much every day. But yeah, I am always open to ideas. People reach out to me on social media, and I will always respond as quickly as I can and give you advice from there. What I would suggest is like enter in competitions. There's tons of screenwriting competitions. Build up your credentials through that. And if you wrote something that you can film easily with not a lot of money, then I would suggest you get your foot in the door that way. That would be my suggestion.
Film your own movie. Go ahead, Dale.
Yeah.
Or find someone that can help you do that. You know, yeah.
Yeah, and just that I agree with Kareem as well. I am open to reading, you know, scripts, especially from Bahamian writers, you know, because a lot of our stories haven't been told. There's a lot of stories out there that need to be told, you know, and that's why, like, you know, Kareem, want to give you your flowers now. You know, you've been telling our Bahamian stories, and you continue doing it, you know, and it's making an impact in the world. Because when people look at the Bahamas, they only think of sunshine and sea, but our stories is really what make up us as Bahamians and make the Bahamas what the Bahamas is, not just the environment. So I'm open up to anybody that, you know, has scripts and ideas. I get a lot of those messages. You know, I have an idea, and I was on a panel a few months ago, and it was a young writer that had an amazing idea. So definitely, like I always say, we're all storytellers. We all have had grandparents or have grandparents that tell us storytellers as Bahamians, and we all could sit there and say, "I remember that story my grandmother told me, my granddaddy told me." So our stories are important, and like I say, once again, my hat tip off to Kareem for pushing that narrative and pushing us forward. So I'm open to anybody that have scripts. I love to read those and see if there's maybe a way that we could collaborate, even if it isn't a script, if it's just a summary or a synopsis or a pitch or an elevator pitch of an idea, I'm definitely always open to that.
And Kareem, you're a writer, a screenwriter, a script writer, right? You initially started This Is Paradise. You wrote the script, but you also have other Bahamian writers. How did you decide to say, "Hey, I'm going to trust Hannah"? And I forget the Henrietta also. How I'm going to trust
Corel Pinder.
Pinder, forgive me, Miss Pinder could be vexed. How do I trust Pinder and Hannah to continue writing my initial script? How did you go about that?
Yeah, so we had done an initial pilot, me and Henrietta, that I wrote, and Stephen did a punch up on, like back in 2018. And I understand that a television show is not a singular. I don't view it as a singular vision. So like, even though I came up with the idea, like I had to bring a lot of other cooks in the kitchen to help us create something that's really special. Stephen Hanna is an incredibly funny writer, incredibly funny storyteller, and I had been an admirer of his work for a very long time. Like I'm inspired around the people around me that come from the same place that I come from. And then Corel is a very accomplished. She's from Grand Bahama. She's a very accomplished playwright, and she has a very unique female perspective. And are two females, and I can really speak to that experience. And so I thought it was important to have her in the room and leading some of the episodes that she wrote. I'm not like super. I always see the success of this as all of us working together, all of us serving a common goal, and the common goal was to make people laugh and to be like a very light show, and that's just what we came together to accomplish.
I have a two-part question. I'll put it to the actors first, right? And then I'll go back to you, Kareem, in terms of aspiring actors. I have this text asking, how does an inspiring actor get jobs, right? So I want to know, how did y'all put yourself out there that people are considering you? And what is the name of this talent scout? I think someone called you all up. So just in case this person wants to put their self out to get called.
Well, I've been acting since I came back home in 2006 with the spot. And like you said, I've been in almost every stage play there is. So that alone gave me a little upper hand. I think that's how Kareem met me. He met me at the spot. He saw me perform there on stage. And he got my number, and that's when I did Float with him from the beginning. And most of the other directors that I've worked with seen me on stage. That's where they know me from. So I didn't have like a talent company. I put myself out there myself. Mm-hmm. But I have to continuously do it. You have to keep going. You can't stop.
Okay.
Definitely.
And you both, go ahead.
Well, I started acting in the theater. Hubbard, Fame the Musical, Clue the Musical, etc. And when I really started to take off was when I started my own thing back in 2017, as Sarge and all that stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the more I did videos and the more exposure that I got, I guess the more opportunities and doors opened up. So it's just hard work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have to want it, you know what I mean? And not just want it just because, I want to be famous or I want to be popular, but want it because you want it and you want to be the best version of yourself. All of that stuff is going to come.
You gotta put in the work.
Yeah.
And Kareem, one text is asking, is there any opportunities for them to be in this series and anything else you're working on in the future?
Yeah, I mean,
Actors.
actually, hopefully people will watch this season and we get another one. And we'll do the same. Like, I mean, we will put auditions out. I think most of the cast will be returning, but we'll have like episodic roles if we get to season 2. We're already planning it, but like hopefully the season goes well on the platform and we get to be renewed or get financed for a second season. Yeah, I mean, I do put stuff out there. I do work with casting directors. It's never done in secret. We always announce it. So I would suggest you just keep your eyes peeled for opportunities. And I do have to shout out Zaneo and Christine, because I saw Christine on stage and she was such a powerful, centered performer. It's very rare to see an actress like that is so natural. And I never asked Christine where her training was, but she's an incredible actress and someone that really inspires me. And I think he has such an incredible story of perseverance and not taking no for an answer and the ability to just keep going. I don't know if he talks about it, but his success wasn't overnight. He had to keep trying new things and it finally connected. And he applies that principle to every aspect of his life. And I don't know. I just think he's just these people are just incredible human beings, and so I just wanted to shout them out as well.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I have a caller who wants to engage you, Kareem. So let me patch the caller through. So listen out, okay? Go ahead, producer. Patch the caller through for me. Go ahead, caller. Can you hear me?
Good day. How you guys doing today? Morning, gentlemen.
Yeah, we're good.
Morning.
We're good.
Okay. I was really intrigued by the conversation today. As a matter of fact, you all must be God sent, because I've been working on this project for the last 20-something years, right? But I keep fine-tuning. And then my wife says, man, you procrastinating. But it's not that. I just wanted it to, the initial come out to be perfect for what I have in mind. And then it's the ongoing, like what I'm saying is, like the first production I put on is actually to carry on into something bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, but it's the initial stage I'm having challenges with. I was wondering if you guys would feel free. I have a company, it's called Sound Control Production, and I'm trying to put that together with really not a fly-by-night company or, like what we call a bush mechanic company, but it's actually a professionally done company that it has lawyers and accountants and everything that, probably like how you guys have your all set up. But my problem I've always had in the Bahamas, well, not only the Bahamas, pretty much anywhere, and you present it to people who are already in the industry, then you have an issue with, you mightn't see your version, but you'll see a version similar, and although we have copyright copyright to protect you and all that stuff, I've looked into all of that, but I still find that's a problem. But what I feel like from hearing from you guys, that you guys seem to be genuine in what you're doing, and actually, I like the fact that you're doing it professionally, because I just committed myself to, I do alarm and cameras and stuff. I committed that that's my last project I own now, that's going to be it for that. So I can retire from that and I go full-time into the production company. So I was wondering if you guys would feel free to sit down and see where we could go from there. And I'm willing to pay up front for your services, so we can have that open space and sign whatever we need to sign for, to get it done. But I really would like to sit down with you guys and see if we can work together. I can leave my information with the producer for the Kareem and the other writers and producers to give me a call, and we could sit down and have a meeting.
Why not?
So that we could go from there.
Okay, I'll make sure the producer write it down. You can write that down, but patch the next caller through. Don't hang up on this one. Make sure you get his information and patch my next caller through. You patch the next one? Go ahead, caller. How you doing?
Yeah, you see what you're going to do? You're going to find work for these people.
Yeah, man. We can make them busy and stuff. I big time now.
This is so powerful. Well, good morning to my representative for Foxhill, not the representative, and good morning to your guest.
Ain't long now.
Yeah,
Morning.
yeah, I know. Yeah, listen
Morning.
up. The gentleman who talked about Eleuthera and the air I have a friend, his name is Elatom El Amin. He's a breatharian. He actually lives only off the air he breathes. And he mentioned the only island that he likes to come and visit, and he doesn't have to eat or play like he doesn't eat. But this is so powerful. So good morning to the breatharian in the room.
Thank you. I was just really observing because I don't know, the air just felt more easy to breathe in, and I felt very good. Like I didn't feel hungry. Now that you think about it.
Yes. See. You're onto something and you didn't know it.
Wow.
Listen up, though. I had occasion to take a family member of mine to do an audition when Sean Connery, one of the other Sean Connerys, was doing a little scene in the pit. And they wanted someone who was colored, and well, my son was he tried out for it, but his voice was too sharp, so he couldn't fit into it. So they had to get someone British and paint that person white. Have any of you ever experienced a situation where you try out for an audition, and because like Sir Sidney said, you have to learn how to speak. Well, you have to be able to speak a certain way when you're acting, and you have to keep that tone level right. Have you experienced where you've been, the word everyone uses, being deprived of a privilege and opportunity because of your color or your harsh voice?
I have. Under James Catlin, actually, I wasn't speaking enough Bahamianese. So I had to really learn Bahamianese, the Hadi and the old-fashioned Bahamian language. For real hardcore island sounds, because I went to a private school and they speak a different way how we have to enunciate our words.
Mm-hmm. Good. I have to take a commercial break here, but I want to talk about the future of filmmaking in the Bahamas, and this is I guess where Kareem come in. I want to know, well, Nevada making money and Kareem making money, so there is future for filmmakers. But I want to know, Kareem, how you be able to finance all of this, to fly all of these people to Eleuthera, and to put so much money in the Eleutheran economy. I mean, you were spending money like crazy. Well, having these actors down there and the film crew down there, I mean, Eleuthera benefited, and I just want to know that process, so people who are interested in doing this can perhaps learn from this opportunity. But we'll take this commercial now, and when you come back, Kareem, that's what I want you to speak on, if you may.
Okay, no problem.
Good. Producer, start that commercial, and then we'll be right back. Guardian Radio the AM with C.A. Newry. I have in studio, via Zoom, Kareem Mortimer, and in studio, Lovato Stubbs, Christine Wilson's the actor, and Zanio Newbold, Sarge, is in studio today. We'll be right back.
Can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood.
We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too?
Of course we can.
But we could be in deep trouble if they find out.
We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami.
So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles.
Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal.
So what we waiting on? What's the number?
Say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
The 6th edition of the Bahamas Games are on the way. July 7th through the 15th. Get ready for inter-island sporting competition in the spirit of unity and camaraderie. Which island is gonna win? It's the Bahamas Games. Our nation, our talent, our games. And look out for the B-Games crew coming to your island soon. For more information, call 809-1242 or visit thebahamasgames.org.
The Water and Sewage Corporation wishes to advise the public, its customers, and the residents of Wilton Street off Mackey Street, inclusive of side corners, that there may be an interruption to their water supplies between the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on June 12th, 2023, for a total of 6 weeks to perform new main installation on Wilton Street. During this period, there may also be road closures and detour around the work areas. Motorists are asked to avoid this area between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. The inconvenience this may cause, and appreciates your support as they work to improve their level of service.
And welcome back to Garden Radio in the AM with C.A. Newry. Of course, I have Kareem Mortimer. Oh, you there yet, Kareem? You back? You know you're live, right?
I'm back.
Yeah, you're live. Yeah. $300,000 was spent in Eleuthera. You're doing this series, right? That's good money. I want to know how you were able to make such happen, to be able to fly these Nassau-based actors, these Nassau-based directors to Eleuthera, and you got funding to pay all of them, and then get the catering people and et cetera down there. $300,000. I know BMs could do them things.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not a wealthy person, but $300,000 is not a lot for production. Like, we were really scrimping and saving, and every day was a challenge. And so sometimes production hopefully in the future we'll be able to get more money. But we did the best with what we could do. How it was, we did a business plan about what we wanted to accomplish with the show, and we brought it to investors who supported it. Obviously, there's sometimes a ceiling how much you can get. And so we were on the lower end because nobody knew that if it would work or not. And so we really worked hard and people worked with us to make sure that we were able to come in on budget to get this made and out there. And we did it with the intention to open a door and to see if we can get to do it again. And if we got to show that we can do something great the first time, then it will attract more people to have us do it a second time, and have other people do it for a second time, and really pay people what they deserve.
So this is important to the Bahamas. This has to work.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, imagine watching a show, even on so many levels, cultural, touristic level, like in this beautiful island. The story unfolds. Like, there's just so much. There's so much synergy here. And so, yeah. So I mean, while it sounds like a lot, we really were kind of bare bones, and but the product looks amazing. So that's good.
Well, Behemoths have done series, right? Film series before, right? But the idea that you on Crackle, right? And I'm not sure Behemoth understand that you on Crackle. That ain't no easy feat. The idea that you get this on a major live stream means that Behemoths need to go out and see it. Say, man, just because it's here, I gotta watch this, right? I gotta see how you able to get that there. Just the type of quality work is a testimony to you, a testimony to your team of actors and writers to say, man, this.
Yeah. I mean, a testimony to them and Lovato and Henrietta. There's so many talented people and so many talented people in this country we didn't get to work it on this season, and so we're really wanting another second season. And if Behemoths want to watch it, Crackle's not available in the Bahamas, but you can watch it through a Fire Stick or get a VPN to watch it. And then hopefully we can work on something to show it locally here. We're talking to a few people, and hopefully we can make that happen.
Okay. So I know we did a break the last time I was asking the future of filmmaking, and I wanted Kareem and Lovato to comment on that, right? Is there room for more Bahamian film writers, more Bahamian directors, right? I'm still grappling that Lovato makes money just being a director full time, right? There's money in this. Middle class money. I ain't talking about small change money. I mean, money that he could puff a savings account and fly around and do things and have luxury things, right? There's money in this. What's the future for Bahamian film writing and filmmaking in general?
I think it's beautiful right now because I'm sure Kareem could add to this, but years ago it wasn't anything that existed. But I think now that we're here, it's now showing an example, and that's why I'll always shout out Kareem, for doing this, because this show, he did the hard work. So for the future, this can be a case study and an example to show that what can be done by Bahamians, So I think the future is bright. We have these amazing actors in this room right now, the other actors that were on the show, the other Bahamian filmmakers. There's so many young creatives that I always tell Kareem, when I was in university, I was looking at what he was doing. And now, years later, we're working together. And that's why I say I consider him a friend, I consider him family, in this filmmaker world. And just as I looked at him as an example, there are individuals that are looking at me now as an example as well. So I think it's a snowball effect to kind of really encourage and create the future. I think the future is bright. I could sit here today and call many young filmmakers that is doing it right now more than it was before. So every year it's growing and growing and growing.
Kareem, you want to comment on that? Because I have a caller who wants to speak to you again too. Go ahead, Kareem.
Yeah, I'll just comment pretty briefly. I agree with Lovato. I think everything gets better and better the more you do it, and the more everybody keeps doing it, the better it's going to be.
Okay, producer, patch that caller through, and then I want, how do people get in contact with you? Because all kind of people text me, say they want to get in contact with Kareem. I mean, you too, there, Stubbs, but I mean, they want to get in contact with. I just act too, by the way, Kareem. I mean, just in case, and I just get paid. I just letting you know I want to act and I would get paid, because I was trying to be on the spot one time and people block it. But pass your caller through right now, please, producer. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, Newry. You're trying to find a side job after leaving the Guardian. Talk show in the morning.
I have Jamaican blood. I got 4 jobs.
Yeah, I just want to compliment everyone in studio. I want to say that those young men and women as well are doing a great job trying to break the glass ceiling and get Bahamians out on the market and in the market or in the public eye. I know Lovato from church. We went to the same church in Nassau. And I know that his parents have been very supportive of him. He's been in the business for a few years when it was more or less like filmmaking. What is that? How are you going to feed yourself family? So I think, parents just need to always just support their kids with their dreams, and look how far he's gotten. So I just want to compliment everybody and just encourage them to continue doing a great job.
Well, thank you. And when you see me so much, when you see me inside the next film, you can see this work. But Kareem, I need contacts. Where can I see the show? Stuff like that.
Where you can get in contact with me?
Yes, we have persons who want to contact you, and then also information about where can we see the show, like is a Facebook page, stuff like that. Articles written on it.
So This Is Paradise has a Facebook page and an Instagram. It's brand new. I just started it last week, so it's growing. People can reach out to me, not on Instagram, because I kind of share my Instagram is kind of personal, but through Facebook, you can always reach out to me. I take a while, so so just keep on reaching out, because I have 2 young kids as well as a career, and so sometimes it gets a little challenging, but reach out to me through social media, Kareem Mortimer. That's just my name at Facebook, and send me a message, and I'll be sure to get back to you.
Any place to see trailers? Because I like seeing trailers.
Yeah, so the trailers on the 30-second cut down of the trailer is on YouTube and on the Facebook page, and then also we're gonna release the season long trailer, the 1.5-minute trailer, sometime next week, just to give people a little something who haven't had an opportunity to see it yet, to get them to take the plunge and either download Crackle or get a VPN or pressure their local stations to make us an offer, and so we can show it in the Bahamas.
Go ahead. Okay, go to Stubbs. Stubbs, how do people get in contact with you?
Social media, Lovato Stubbs on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to me. You know, any people on creatives that want to intern, not even just young creatives. Any individuals that want to, learn this thing. I'm always open. Anybody that knows me, that I'm open to share the knowledge. We got to build our industry. Just as if Kareem invited me for this opportunity, I want to definitely pass it on. It's all a connection. So Lovato Stubbs on all social media. You can get me. I want the actors to give their.
Yeah, go ahead, Christine.
Yeah,
you go first.
Oh, well, I'm Christine Wilson everywhere. So
Okay, Christine Wilson everywhere. I see you on Facebook. I tried blocking that today. Go ahead there. Go ahead there, New Bull.
Yes, you can find me on Facebook at Zaneo Newbold, and then Instagram just Zaneo, and then on TikTok Zaneo242.
Nothing says Sarge though.
No,
Everything-
because I'm Zaneo first and then Sarge.
Okay.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
That's Sarge the New Bull just now speaking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, quick shout out to Lovato stuff as well too. He's been, pushing me to do new things and pushing me to with different projects. Anything that he has, he be sure to try and get me on whether it's acting or visual effects or editing. So just a big shout out to him.
I'm proud of you,
He
man.
loves to see, the young creators and then everything. Boom, boom, boom. I'm proud of you.
Anyway, that's the music right there. That's Guardian Radio AM. Have a wonderful day.
Wonderful day, guys. Take care.